Hello students, Jinali Shah welcomes you all on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. Today we will begin with the new chapter Chemical Coordination and Integration. Students, in the previous chapter we have studied regarding the neural control. Students, we know that human being possess two control and coordinating system which controls each and every activity of our body. One system was nervous system which controls the different activity through nervous impulse. In the present chapter we will be studying that there are chemicals called hormones which are secreted by the endocrine glands of our body, and these chemicals they carry out the various physiological activity of the body. So let us study the chapter Chemical Coordination and Integration. First of all, the introductory part. In introductory part, let us revise some important point regarding the neural system. That is, what is the importance of neural system? The neural system provides a point-to-point rapid coordination among the organs. Now, we know that there are two control and coordinating systems in our body. One is nervous control and another one is the endocrine control. So, how nervous control differs from endocrine control? The nervous control is basically through the nervous impulse, whereas the endocrine system they secrete the chemical called hormones and they carry out the functions. अभी nervous control जो होगा वो कैसे होगा? It will be very fast, it will be very quick, whereas to induce some hormonal response it may take certain time. So, neural system provides point-to-point rapid coordination among the organs. The neural coordination is fast but short-lived. Opposite to that is hormonal coordination or coordination through chemicals, which is slow but it lasts for the longer period of time. All the nerve fibers do not innervate all the cells of the body, and the cellular functions need to be continuously regulated. So, for that a special kind of coordination and integration has to be provided. Now, we know that each and every cell of our body is not innervated. That is, there is not, you can say all the cells do not have the nervous supply. So, that doesn't mean कि जो सेल के पास nervous supply है उनमें coordination या control नहीं होगा. So, for that our body have developed another system कि जिसके through coordination possible होगा, and that coordination is through the chemicals. So, this function is carried out by hormones. The neural system and endocrine system jointly coordinate and regulate the physiological functions of the body. So, now which are the endocrine glands and hormones? So, here we are basically concerned with chemical coordination, and for chemical coordination there are chemicals called hormones, and these hormones are the secretions of the ductless gland of our body. Endocrine gland lacks the duct and hence are called ductless gland, and their secretions are called as the hormones. So, hormones are the secretion of the ductless glands of our body, and this ductless gland of our body are called endocrine gland. The classical definition of hormone is a chemical produced by endocrine gland and released into the blood and transported to a distantly located target organ has current scientific definition as follows. So, there was the old, or you can say classical definition of hormone. What is a classical definition of hormone? So, hormone initially was thought to be a chemical which is produced by the endocrine gland of the body. As these glands do not have their duct, they will be released into the bloodstream, and from bloodstream they will be transported to the target organ. Target organs are the organs where the hormones will work. Very important property of hormone is their site of secretion and site of action are different. For hormones, the site of secretion and site of action are different. So, they need to be travelled from site of secretion to site of action. So, how do they travel? They travel through the blood. So that was the classical, or you can say old definition of hormone. That is a chemical produced by the endocrine gland, released into the blood and transported to a distantly located target organ. Now the definition have been modified, and the modern and scientific definition of hormone is hormones are non-nutrient chemicals which act as the intercellular messengers and are produced in trace amount. Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals, that is the hormones like vitamins. Vitamins they are provided to the body through food. Hormones का ऐसा नहीं है, they are synthesized by the body. Hence it is written non-nutrient. We do not get hormone through the nutrients. हाँ, हार्मोन बनाने के लिए जो मटेरियल्स चाहिए वो न्यूट्रिएंट्स से मिलेंगे, बट डायरेक्टली हार्मोन्स आर नॉट अवेलेबल थ्रू न्यूट्रिएंट्स, राइट? दे आर सिंथेसाइज्ड इन बॉडी. So they are non-nutrient chemicals which act as the intercellular messengers, and they are produced in trace amounts. They are produced in minute quantities, right? The new definition covers a number of new molecules in addition to the hormones secreted by the organized endocrine glands. Invertebrates possess very simple endocrine system with few hormones, whereas a large number of chemicals act as the hormones and provide coordination in the vertebrates. So let us study regarding the human endocrine system. The endocrine glands and hormone producing diffused tissues or cells located in different parts of our body constitute the endocrine system. So what is the endocrine system made up of? The endocrine system is made up of endocrine gland, and apart from endocrine glands there are certain tissues or cells which are located in the different parts of the body, and that tissues also secrete the hormones. Pituitary, pineal, thyroid, adrenal, pancreas, parathyroid, thymus and gonads. Gonads are the reproductive organs. So which are testes in males and ovaries in females. They are the organized endocrine bodies in our body. Whereas in addition to the above mentioned endocrine gland, some other organs like gastrointestinal tract, liver, kidney, heart, they also produce the hormones. So these are the certain endocrine glands of our body. The main is hypothalamus, pineal and pituitary. They are located in the brain portion of our body. Thyroid and parathyroid in the neck region. Thymus again in the chest cavity. This is pancreas, adrenal gland located above the kidney, and these are the testes and the ovaries. So these are the various endocrine glands of our body. Now the first thing we will study is the hypothalamus. Now students, we know that pituitary gland is considered as the master gland of body. क्यों पिट्यूटरी को मास्टर ग्लैंड बोला गया है? Because pituitary gland, it controls the secretion of other endocrine gland of the body. But pituitary gland को भी control करने वाली एक gland है, and that gland is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus will secrete its hormone. ये हार्मोन पिट्यूटरी में जाकर पिट्यूटरी को स्टिम्युलेट करेगा, and then the pituitary will release the hormones. The hypothalamus is the basal part of diencephalon, which is the part of the forebrain, and it regulates the wide spectrum of body functions. So where is hypothalamus located? It is located at the basal part of diencephalon, and diencephalon is the part of the forebrain, and this hypothalamus regulates the various activities of our body. Wide range of activities are controlled by hypothalamus. It contains several groups of neurosecretory cells called nuclei which produce the hormones. Now what hypothalamus consists of? The hypothalamus consists of the group of neurosecretory cells. Now when we have studied regarding nervous tissues, we have seen कि nervous tissue के अंदर स्पेशल सेल्स होते हैं न्यूरोसिक्रेटरी सेल्स. एंड ये न्यूरोसिक्रेटरी सेल्स वो न्यूरॉन्स है जो सर्टन केमिकल्स का सिक्रीशन करते हैं. So the neurosecretory cells of the hormone of the hypothalamus, they are called as nuclei, and these nuclei secretes what? Hormones. These hormones regulate the synthesis and secretion of pituitary hormones. So what is the function of the hypothalamic hormones? The hypothalamic hormones, they regulate the synthesis as well as the secretion of the pituitary hormones. The hormones produced by hypothalamus are of two types. Now two types of the hormones are produced by the hypothalamus. The one type is the releasing hormone and another type is the inhibitory hormones. So how many types of hormones are synthesized? It is the two types of the hormones, the releasing hormones and the inhibiting hormones. What are releasing hormones? The hormones which stimulate the secretion of pituitary hormones. Hypothalamus अगर releasing hormones secrete करते हैं तो वो रिलीजिंग हार्मोन एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी के हार्मोन का सिक्रीशन होने देगा. एंड अनदर वन इज द इनहिबिटिंग हार्मोन्स which inhibits the secretions of the pituitary hormones. So releasing hormones stimulate the secretion of pituitary hormones and inhibiting hormones inhibits the secretion of the pituitary hormones. For example, a hypothalamic hormone called gonadotrophin releasing hormone stimulates the pituitary synthesis and release of gonadotrophins. So say for example, hypothalamus is secreting a hormone called as gonadotrophin releasing hormone. So this gonadotrophin releasing hormone will stimulate anterior pituitary. Now this stimulated anterior pituitary will release the gonadotrophins. There are two gonadotrophins, one is FSH and another one is LH. On another hand, somatostatin from the hypothalamus inhibits the release of growth hormone from the pituitary. So somatostatin is another hormone secreted by the hypothalamus, and this somatostatin, it inhibits the release of the growth hormone from the anterior pituitary. So these inhibitory hormones, they stop the synthesis of the pituitary hormones, whereas the releasing hormones allows the anterior pituitary to secrete the hormones. These hormones originating in the hypothalamic neurons pass through the axons and are released from their nerve endings. So ये hypothalamus पे जो भी hormones है, whether they are releasing hormone or inhibiting hormone, ये synthesis कौन करता है, release कहाँ से होता है, उनके nerve ending से, and through axons they will pass through the that particular end portion. These hormones reach the pituitary gland through portal circulatory system and regulate the functions of anterior pituitary. See, hypothalamic neuron ये सिक्रीशन करेंगे. सिक्रीशन पास कौन करेगा, एक्सॉन. कहाँ पे पास करेगा, नर्व एंडिंग में. अभी नर्व एंडिंग से वो हार्मोन्स कहाँ पे जाएंगे, पिट्यूटरी. सो एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी पे वो कैसे पहुँचेगा, from the nerve endings of the hypothalamus to anterior pituitary. That hormones, they pass through the circulatory system, portal circulatory system, whereas the posterior pituitary is under the direct neural regulation of hypothalamus. Posterior pituitary के जो भी hormones है या posterior pituitary है, that is under direct neural control with the hypothalamus. So these are the major hypothalamic hormones with their functions. Thyrotropin releasing hormone, which stimulates the secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone from pituitary. Gonadotropin releasing hormone, which stimulates the secretion of FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone from anterior pituitary. Corticotropin releasing hormone, it stimulates the secretion of ACTH, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone from pituitary. Growth hormone releasing hormone, it stimulates the secretion of growth hormones. Prolactin releasing hormone, it stimulates the secretion of prolactin. Luteinizing hormone, releasing hormone, it stimulates the secretion of luteinizing hormone. MSH, that is melanocyte stimulating hormone, releasing hormone, it stimulates the secretion of melanocyte stimulating hormone, that is MSH. Growth hormone inhibiting hormone, which is also called as somatostatin, it inhibits the secretion of growth hormone. Prolactin inhibiting hormone also inhibits the secretion of prolactin. MSH inhibiting melanocyte stimulating hormone inhibiting hormone, it inhibits the secretion of MSH. So these are the various hypothalamic hormones with their function. Now let us study the most important endocrine gland of our body, and that endocrine gland is the pituitary gland. So the main endocrine gland, the pituitary gland, which is also called as hypophysis. The pituitary gland is located in a bony cavity called sella turcica and is attached to the hypothalamus by a stalk, and that stalk is called as the infundibulum. What is the stalk called as? The stalk is called as the infundibulum. So where is hypothalamus located? In a bony cavity. That bony cavity is called as sella turcica. And how is it attached to the hypothalamus? By a stalk. What is that stalk called as? Infundibulum. Through infundibulum passes the blood vessels and the neurons, and that through that blood vessels and neuron, the hypothalamic neurons will pass to the pituitary. It is anatomically divided into an adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. So there are two main regions of the hypophysis or pituitary. One is adenohypophysis and another one is neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis consists of two portions, pars distalis and pars intermedia. So there are two regions in adenohypophysis. One is pars distalis and another one is pars intermedia. Now hormones which are secreted by the anterior pituitary. The pars distalis region of pituitary, commonly called as anterior pituitary, produces the following hormones. So anterior pituitary is also called as what? Pars distalis. Very, very important. Now it secretes 6 different kinds of the hormones. Those are growth hormone, GH, prolactin hormone, PRL. Short forms, or you can say abbreviations, are very, very important, students. TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, that is ACTH, luteinizing hormone, that is LH, and follicle stimulating hormone, that is FSH. So these 6 different kinds of the hormones are secreted by the anterior pituitary. Now hormones of pars intermedia. The pars intermedia is also called as the intermediate pituitary. What is it called as? It is also called as the intermediate pituitary. So pars intermedia secretes only one hormone called melanocyte stimulating hormones. However, that is, its short form is MSH. In humans, the pars intermedia is almost merged with pars distalis. So pars intermedia and pars distalis, they are merged with each other in human beings. The hormones of posterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary is called neurohypophysis, or also it is also called as pars nervosa. So neurohypophysis or pars nervosa, also known as posterior pituitary, stores and releases 2 hormones. Very important. इंटरमीडिएट एंड एंटीरियर जो लोब है पिट्यूटरी के, वो खुद हार्मोन का सिंथेसिस करते हैं, लेकिन पोस्टीरियर पिट्यूटरी के जो 2 हार्मोन्स वो जो रिलीज करता है, दैट हार्मोन्स आर नॉट सिंथेसाइज्ड बाय देम. दिस हार्मोन्स आर सिंथेसाइज्ड बाय द हाइपोथैलेमस ओनली. सिर्फ उनका सिक्रीशन के लिए दे विल कम टू विच पोर्शन फॉर सिक्रीशन? दे विल कम टू द posterior lobe of the pituitary. So it stores and releases 2 hormones, namely oxytocin and vasopressin. Both these hormones are actually synthesized by hypothalamus and are transported axonally to the neurohypophysis. So vasopressin and oxytocin ka secretion, who does it? It is posterior pituitary. It is done by hypothalamus. From hypothalamus through the axons they will travel to the posterior pituitary, and from posterior pituitary they will be stored, and from there they will be released. Now let us study the function of each and every pituitary hormone. So first hormone is the growth hormone. It is secreted by anterior pituitary, or also called as the pars distalis. It is also known as somatotrophic hormone or somatotrophin. Okay, what is it called as? Somatotrophic hormone, STH, or also called as somatotrophin. What is its function? It promotes the growth. Name itself suggests it promotes the growth of all the tissues and various metabolic processes of the body. So the basically growth hormone is related to it promotes the growth of all the tissues of our body. Now growth के लिए proteins and cell division process plays the important role. So ये हार्मोन ऐसा काम करेगा जिससे प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस इंक्रीज होगा एंड सेल डिवीजन का प्रोसेस भी क्या होगा, इंक्रीज होगा. So for that what will happen? It is also responsible for various metabolic activities of the body. Now there are some disorders related to the growth hormone. So which are those? So over secretion of growth hormone, over बोलो, hyper secretion बोलो, या growth hormone excess amount में secrete हुआ, in the basically it is related to the childhood. Childhood में if growth hormone is secreted in excess amount, then it causes the abnormal growth of the body and it is responsible for the disease called as the gigantism. So over secretion of growth hormone in childhood is responsible for the abnormal growth of the body and the diseased condition is called as gigantism. Similarly, the low secretion of growth hormone results in stunted growth and it results in the pituitary dwarfism. So, अगर childhood में growth hormone का secretion less amount में हुआ, deficiency, hypo or less secretion of the growth hormone in the early age, in the childhood, is responsible for stunted growth. There won't be the growth of the body and that disease is called as pituitary dwarfism. Whereas the excess secretion of growth hormones in adults, especially in middle age, can result in severe disfigurement, especially of the face, called acromegaly, which may lead to serious complications and premature death if unchecked. So, hypersecretion or you can say oversecretion of growth hormone in adult is responsible for the disease called as the acromegaly. In acromegaly there will be disfigurement. Disfigurement यानी body parts के जो figures है, shapes हो गए, body forms change हो गए and basically it is related to the face. Face will become disfigured. It may lead to certain serious complications and if it is not diagnosed, if it is not checked, then it may also cause the premature death. This disease is hard to diagnose in early stages and often goes undetected for many years until the changes in the external features become noticeable. Now ये disease ऐसा है कि अपने को मालूम भी नहीं होगा कि अपने को disease हो रहा है. Like early stages में ये disease को diagnose करना it is very difficult. We cannot detect it for many years. हम कब तक detect नहीं कर सकते जब तक external features noticeable नहीं हो. And जब तक external features noticeable हो जाएंगे, it means कि ये disease it has been spread in our body. Now next hormone of anterior pituitary is prolactin PRL, which regulates the growth of the mammary glands and formation of milk in them. So the prolactin is responsible for the growth of the mammary gland and milk production in the mammary glands. Thyroid stimulating hormone, that is TSH. It stimulates the synthesis and secretion of the thyroid hormones from the thyroid gland. So thyroid hormones 3 type के हैं, वो हम later study करेंगे. T3, T4 एंड थायरोकैल्सिटोनिन. सो ये थायराइड ग्लैंड कब अपना हार्मोन सिक्रीशन करेगी? जब एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी हार्मोन कौन सा हार्मोन सिक्रेट करेगी? थायराइड स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन. सो दिस थायराइड स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन, इट स्टिमुलेट्स द थायराइड ग्लैंड टू secrete their own hormones. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, that is ACTH. So it stimulates the synthesis and secretion of the steroid hormones called glucocorticoids from the adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortico, that is cortical part of the adrenal gland. So adrenocorticotropic hormone, it stimulates the adrenal cortex, and in them it allows the synthesis of the hormone called as the glucocorticoids, and these glucocorticoids chemical nature is they are steroidal hormones. Now luteinizing hormone, on its short form is LH. In males, the luteinizing hormone stimulates the synthesis and secretion of the hormones called androgens from testes. So basically it stimulates the in the males there is the cells called as the Leydig cells. Which cells are there? Leydig cells. These Leydig cells are found between the tubules called as the seminiferous tubules. Between the seminiferous tubules are the cells called as the Leydig cells. ये Leydig cells का दूसरा नाम है interstitial cells. These Leydig cells are also called as what? Interstitial cells. So ये जो luteinizing hormone है वो interstitial cells होते हैं जो males के, उसको activate करता है, उसको stimulate करता है, and these cells will then secrete the hormone called as the testosterone. Okay, and as it stimulates the interstitial cell, luteinizing hormone in males is also called as the interstitial cell stimulating hormone. समझ में आया? In males, the luteinizing hormone is also called as the interstitial cell stimulating hormones because it stimulates the interstitial cells to secrete the androgens. And these androgens, the most common androgen is the testosterone, which is very much necessary for the functioning of the male reproductive system and process of the sperm formation in them. In females, the LH induces the ovulation of the fully mature follicle, which is called as Graafian follicle. So what is the function of luteinizing hormone in the females? So females, we know that every month they release the ovary, उनमें every month menstrual cycle होगा. Menstrual cycle is nothing, ovary में से ovules का release होगा. Now ये जो ovary में से ovum का release होगा, basically this ovum is secreted by the follicles, mature follicles जिसको बोलते हैं Graafian follicle. Now ये Graafian follicle का structure कैसा होता है? In the center it will contain the ovum. Center में क्या होता है? Ovum होते हैं. Now this ovum is surrounded by the small cells, and this small cells surrounding the ovum is called as what? Follicular cells. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Follicular cells. Now जब ovulation होगा तो ये जो Graafian follicle है उसमें जो बीच में ovum है वो क्या होगा? Release होगा. Okay, now this Graafian follicle now after ovulation is empty Graafian follicle. This empty Graafian follicle is called as corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum is very much necessary for the process of pregnancy. It maintains the pregnancy. So it induces the ovulation of fully mature follicle, that is Graafian follicles, and it also maintains the corpus luteum formed from the remnants of the Graafian follicle after the ovulation. And ये जो corpus luteum है at the later stages of pregnancy, this corpus luteum after its formation releases the hormone called as the progesterone, and this progesterone maintains the pregnancy. Now follicle stimulating hormone or FSH. In males, FSH and androgens regulates the spermatogenesis. Androgens are the male sex hormone. The main one is the testosterone. So FSH and testosterone साथ में मिलके कौन से प्रोसेस को कंट्रोल करता है? स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस. sperms, genesis, formation, that is formation of the sperms. FSH stimulates the growth and development of the ovarian follicles in the females. So FSH ovarian follicle, ये जो follicles का different stages है developmental. So ये follicles का formation, उसका management, उसका development कौन करता है? So it is the FSH. The LH and FSH stimulates the gonadial activity. ये दोनों gonads की activity को control करते हैं and hence they are called as the gonadotrophins. The FSH and LH together are called as what? Gonadotrophins. Now melanocyte stimulating hormone or MSH. So MSH acts on the melanocytes, which are melanin containing cells, and they regulate the pigmentation of the skin. So this MSH will act on the melanocytes, which are the melanin containing skin cells present in the skin. And ये cells ये जो हार्मोन है ये मेलेनोसाइट्स को स्टिम्युलेट करते हैं. वो मेलेनिन पिगमेंट का सिक्रेशन करेंगे एंड आर रेस्पॉन्सिबल टू गिव कलरेशन टू द स्किन. ऑक्सीटोसिन. This oxytocin acts on the smooth muscles of our body and stimulates their contraction. बॉडी के स्मूथ मसल्स का कॉन्ट्रैक्शन के लिए कौन रेस्पॉन्सिबल है? ऑक्सीटोसिन. स्मूथ मसल्स आर द इनवॉलंटरी मसल्स ऑफ आवर बॉडी. Now it carries very special function in females. It stimulates the vigorous contraction of uterus at the time of childbirth. यूटेरस में विगरस एकदम अच्छी तरह से कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस लाता है कौन? ऑक्सीटोसिन. एंड हेंस इट इज़ रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द चाइल्ड बर्थ. यूटेरस में कॉन्ट्रैक्शन होगा, देयर विल बी चाइल्ड बर्थ एंड हेंस इट इज़ ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द बर्थ हार्मोन. Apart from that, it is also responsible for the milk ejection from the mammary gland. वो प्रेगनेंसी के टाइम, डिलीवरी के टाइम पे यूटेरस में कॉन्ट्रैक्शन करके चाइल्ड बर्थ के लिए रेस्पॉन्सिबल है, इसीलिए उसको बर्थ हार्मोन बोला है. एंड आफ्टर डिलीवरी वो मेमरी ग्लैंड में से मिल्क इजेक्शन के लिए रेस्पॉन्सिबल है एंड हेंस इट इज़ ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द मिल्क इजेक्टिंग हार्मोन. So oxytocin is called as birth hormone because it stimulates the contractions in the uterus at the time of the childbirth, and it is also called as the milk ejecting hormone because it is responsible for the release of the milk from the mammary gland after the delivery of the baby. So that is regarding the oxytocin. Now next hormone is vasopressin. Vasopressin acts mainly at the kidneys and stimulates the resorption of water and electrolytes by the distal tubules and thereby reduces the loss of water through the urine, that is diuresis. Vasopressin works on kidney and वो क्या करेगा? जो नेफ्रॉन्स के टर्मिनल पोर्शंस है जैसे कि डिस्टल ट्यूब्यूल्स है उसमें से इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स एंड वाटर का रीएब्सॉर्प्शन होगा. वाटर का रीएब्सॉर्प्शन होगा यानी देयर विल बी रिडक्शन इन द लॉस ऑफ द वाटर थ्रू द यूरिन एंड वी कैन से diuresis can be prevented. And hence it is also called as antidiuretic hormone as it basically carries out the reabsorption of the water. It is called as the antidiuretic hormone. इसका दूसरा नाम है वेसोप्रेसिन. वेसो इज रिलेटेड टू ब्लड वेसल्स. ये ब्लड वेसल्स को प्रेस करेगा, उसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा. उसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा तो ब्लड प्रेशर इंक्रीज होगा. ब्लड प्रेशर इंक्रीज होगा तो ब्लड फ्लो इंक्रीज होगा जिसकी वजह से मोर वाटर कैन बी रीएब्सॉर्ब्ड. नाउ सम ऑफ द डिसऑर्डर्स, वन इम्पॉर्टेंट डिसऑर्डर रिलेटेड टू द release of vasopressin is diabetes insipidus. So an impairment affecting the synthesis or release of ADH, that is if there is deficiency of ADH का synthesis नहीं हो रहा है या synthesis होकर उसका release नहीं हो रहा है तो क्या problem हो सकता है? So it results in the diminished ability of the kidney to conserve water, leading to the water loss and dehydration. So if antidiuretic hormone is not secreted in proper amount, then the ability of the kidney to reabsorb the water will be lost. That is, the kidneys cannot conserve the water, there will be water loss and there will be dehydration. दिस कंडीशन इज कॉल्ड डायबिटीज़ इंसिपिडस। ये डायबिटीज़ को ग्लूकोज से कोई भी लेना देना नहीं है। इन द पर्सन्स suffering from diabetes insipidus, they do not have the urine glucose in the urine. सिर्फ उनमें यूरिनेशन फ्रिक्वेंटली कंटिन्यूस वाटर लॉस होगा बिकॉज किडनी इज अनेबल टू रीअब्सॉर्ब द वाटर. सो दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द vasopressin. So these are the various hormones secreted by pituitary. Anterior pituitary secretes growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotrophic hormone, prolactin hormone, luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone. Intermediate lobe secretes the melanocyte stimulating hormone and posterior lobe secretes the oxytocin and vasopressin. So in total 9 hormones are secreted by pituitary gland. In the 9, the 6 of them are secreted by anterior pituitary, 1 by the intermediate pituitary and the 2 by the posterior pituitary. Now the next endocrine gland of the body is the pineal gland. Like the pituitary gland, it is also located in the forebrain. So pineal gland is located on the dorsal side of the forebrain. It secretes the hormone called as the melatonin. So which hormone is secreted by the pineal gland? It is melatonin. So what are the various functions of the melatonin? It plays a very important role in regulation of 24-hour, that is diurnal rhythm of our body. We human beings are active during daytime. नॉक्टर्नल होते हैं वो नाइट टाइम पे एक्टिव होते हैं, डायर्नल यानी डे टाइम. सो अपनी बॉडी की जो 24 आवर्स की जो साइकिल है, रिदम है, स्लीप अवेक साइकिल है, बॉडी टेम्परेचर है, ये सबको मेंटेन कौन करता है? मेलेटोनिन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इट हेल्प्स इन मेंटेनिंग द नॉर्मल रिदम ऑफ स्लीप वेक साइकिल, बॉडी टेम्परेचर एक्सेट्रा. In addition, melatonin also influences metabolism, pigmentation, menstrual cycle as well as our defense capability. So apart from maintaining the 24-hour rhythm of our body, it also influences metabolism, responsible for pigmentation, menstrual cycle as well as in our defense capacity of our body. So these are the various endocrine glands. In the next lecture, we will study some other endocrine glands. I end my lecture here. Thank you, students.